Perspicacity, written wholly by Brian Fredward McGregor. Episode Studio Mike. Now I was a security guard at the studio, who was employed after a series of break-ins, and he was a teacher at one point, and a good one too, but sadly fell upon hard times and he was made redundant. Well, this teacher, he took odd jobs here and there and did whatever he could do work-wise, and eventually found employment as a cleaner in our dilapidated recording studio, which was set up to be charitable to the local community. The cleaner pretty much begged for this job, as he was about to lose everything. In any case, he was given the job. The cleaner quipped, "One day I will return the favour," to which the manager just smiled, well, somewhat. He was just glad to have a cleaner. The manager then adds, "Let's see how long he lasts." Each night the cleaner would be here in the studio, and he would be sweeping up in and around the studio, just tidying up from a hard day we had here. In any case, this cleaner one night, just before absolutely everyone left, was asked to clean the microphones and stands by the manager, which were seldom touched, to be fair, as the people that came here liked their own ways and didn't like their sets being touched or altered in any way. However, the cleaner was told to make sure all the microphones were worked and test them in any way he wanted to make sure they were still in working order for the morning session. The cleaner seemed quite cheery about this. Anyway, on that one night, the cleaner accidentally bumped into one of the microphones, which he then straightened up, and at that point had a little bash at testing it, so to speak. The cleaner was made to make sure they worked for the morning, and from the security camera footage from the morning security camera, well, it seemed the microphone was still on for some reason, although the camera wasn't recording, not entirely and wholly. Now this cleaner was a quiet guy and said nothing, but myself, the security guard, well, I saw everything, and one night the cleaner sung. I was simply flabbergasted, so to speak, as he was amazing, just amazing, which I recall as I look back. However, I knew myself the timing was wrong for that type and style of music. The cleaner said it's okay. I was trying to avoid the limelight anyway. However, with the teaching profession picking up once more, the cleaner went back into teaching after some additional training as a music teacher, and left his role as the studio cleaner. Now 20 years had passed since he left, and I thought no longer of him. I guess I moved on, so to speak, and so had he. Myself, well, still a security guard. And I moved to a new area, and lo and behold, I saw the cleaner once more, in a school my son and daughter attended. We acknowledged each other, greeting one another rather quietly, but with respect. The teacher then asked myself to wait a few minutes while he got something, to which he disappeared, then appeared once again with a box of discs in his hands. He then asked myself to donate these box of discs to charity in the best way I could, as he commented, and he knew I still worked there at the studio, as I had said to him, although I was leaving for a new job elsewhere. I took this box back to the studio and largely forgot about it, and although sealed, it was marked donations, which the studio often took in to be recycled, which of course would pay for things, many things, at the studio. I left the job the next day, a Friday, and thought nothing more of it. Several weeks passed at my new job, and I often listened to hit radio shows with number one after number one being played during the early hours. I mean, there wasn't much else to do at 3 AM. At that point, I smiled rather happily at the radio and turned to it. I thought of the cleaner Michael, who had worked in the studio, as the title of the hit song rang a bell which was playing. I mean, the title was wholly unique. The radio then chirps out once again, and that was a hit by an anonymous singer, Studio Mike, who you can bet listeners has cleaned up with this song, Limelight. Funny enough, that studio has been fully refurnished, and there turns out hit after hit from performers, near and far. The End, a Brian Fred Worm McGregor production.